first cigarette smoke does not cause lung cancer. The first drop of the tap on the stone doesn't cause a dent. I said one day, but 50 drops later, my husband pulled me aside. He said, Barbara, 10,000 drops later. That's a lot of drops before a dent is made. There's a lot of cigarettes before the damage really begins. 1 glass of alcohol does not cause liver cancer, but you keep it up. Now, I've just mentioned a few poisons that many people are aware can cause cancer. When I say cigarettes, I'm not just talking about the nicotine, I'm also talking about just the effect of smoke in the lungs, which should never go there. The body bears long under the abuse. A lady said to me, my father, he's got lung cancer. What's my first question? Is he a smoker? No, he's not a smoker. Has he ever smoked? Well, yeah. How long ago? 10 years ago. For how long? 25 years. 25 cigarettes a day. Oh, but he doesn't smoke anymore. I'm so glad he doesn't smoke anymore. But it still had an effect way back then. It is true that as soon as a person stops smoking, the lungs begin to revive, but sometimes the damage has been very great. But we can strengthen what remains. Alcohol. One of the main causes of liver cancer is alcohol. Our brain is headquarters of the human body, but headquarters has a project manager. It's called liver. And the liver's the one that processes everything that comes into the body. And if a lot of poisons are coming into the body, the poor old project manager is going to be way down. Cancer cannot get a hold on the body if the liver's functioning well. But God, in His wisdom and mercy, has made the liver the only organ of the body that has the ability to regrow. Did you know that? Oh, God is so good. He's so good that He knew what was ahead. He knew what we'd be bombarded with, so He gave us a recoverable project manager. Isn't that good news? So one of the first things to do when there has been poisons coming into the body is start to detox a bit and start to get these poisons out. And you can support the liver to do that. Chemicals. Now the chemicals come in so many different ways. I know one in Australia is called Roundup or glyphosate. It was in 2014, the Sri Lankan president, he banned glyphosate. So many of the rice farmers were getting cancer. Even their children were getting sick. As the graphic designer's getting that information for me for my new book, as my graphic designer's looking at all this, he actually looked up the leader in the Sri Lanka and he went, oh no. I said, what's the matter? It's just been legalised again. Do you know the greatest want of the world? It's found in the book Education, page 57. The greatest want of the world is the want of men who will not be bought or sold. I don't know what else would cause it to be legalised again. Is it safe now? No, it is not safe. It is not safe at all. And yet we've been told for the last 30 years Roundup is one of the safer herbicides. But it is not true. You see, cancer loves. I want to look at what cancer loves, because if cancer loves this, we're going to do the opposite. Cancer loves an acid environment. And mold creates an acid environment and thrives in an acid environment. So Dr. Tullio Simoncini would put a portacath in and he'd put the most alkalizing substance on the planet. Our stomach lining makes it, our pancreas makes it. It's called sodium bicarbonate. Unfortunately, not for us, but unfortunately for the pharmaceutical company, they can't patent that one. But when sodium bicarbonate hits cancer, it causes a wave of alkalinity that the cancer can't thrive in. It's as simple as that. Cancer also loves glucose. It loves glucose to the point that it consumes 15 times the glucose of any other cell. Cancer also loves an oxygen-free environment. So now we're going to make a list of what cancer hates. Cancer hates alkaline. And in a minute we're going to have a look at some of what you can do, especially the foods, alkaline foods. Cancer hates no glucose. So what we do in a program to help conquer cancer is to get that glucose right down, and cancer hates oxygen. I have many books in my library at home, and many books by doctors, professors, naturopaths, nutritionists, scientists who have success with conquering cancer. And there are many different tangents, but I looked for the 3 common denominators amongst them all, and there they are. These are the 3 common denominators to conquer cancer: create an alkaline environment, get the glucose way down, and ensure an oxygenated body. I love it when it's simple. So we had a lady attend our program named Elizabeth Cott. She had 3 large tumours in her abdomen. She was in her mid-60s at the time. The doctor said, if you don't get chemo straight away, we don't know if you're going to make it. You've got to work fast. Well, the best thing to say is thank you so much for your advice. I'm going to seriously consider it. Because what does God want us to do? Not make a decision on fear. Remember, he says, I haven't given you the spirit of fear. Do you know what that word fear means? Timidity. Cowardice. God hasn't given us that. So no matter what you're told, the best thing to say is, thank you. Thank you so much for your advice. I'm going to seriously consider it, and go down and weigh up your options. At Misty Mountain Health Retreat, we stopped all glucose. Well, you can't stop all glucose because every cell must run on glucose, but we greatly reduced it by stopping the fruit. We gave her herbs to kill. We didn't have the hyperbaric chamber at that stage because this was 11 years ago now. She had the green drinks every day. She did a total lifestyle change. This lady was a Seventh-day Adventist. She said, I've never drank, I've never smoked, I don't do anything that could have caused this. But she's a very clean lady, and her laundry was full of chemicals. So many chemicals. You could eat off her floor, it was so clean, but you actually couldn't because there were so many chemicals. You see, it's a huge deception. People don't realise the chemicals can be killing them. And then she said something. She said, oh dear, we've got a Polish church and we love our desserts. And she said, I make a dessert, it's this big. It's a meringue dessert. We call it pavlova in Australia. And she said, I whip up 16 egg whites and 16 cups of white sugar. She said, I think I was just feeding my cancer with sugar. When she saw there was definitely no mold in her house, there's no place for it. There's a lot of chemicals and a lot of sugars. She said, ooh-wee. See, this is the mirror. And when many people look in the mirror, they go, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Because you're the doctor. Only you know your history, only you know what you've been through. And only you know how different things react and what your body responds to. She went back to the doctor 3 months later. He did a blood test, he did a scan, and he said, just keep doing what you're doing and I'll see you in 6 months. Now, what did he say the first time? You gotta have chemo straight away. She went back a year later, because this is a year now since she started. One of the tumours had totally gone. She said, I haven't felt this good since I was in my 40s. She said, I actually feel better now than in my 40s. I've lost weight. I'm off my sleep apnea machine. I'm off my medication. Another year later, another tumour had gone. She's a very happy lady. She gives little talks now. She's a little shy, so just little talks to little groups. And when they ask her to make a pavlova or meringue dessert now, she says, I love you too much to do that. I'll make you an apple strudel with spelt flour and Granny Smith apples and a little maple syrup. She's not on the no-fruit diet now. She just was for that first 6 weeks. And it's 11 years later now, and how long does that 6 weeks seem now? Like a drop in the pan. Her story is one of many. And what we say to people when they first come and they want to conquer cancer, I say we see 3 outcomes. Sometimes we see a turnaround, and I could spend the next hour telling you many other stories, but time prohibits me.